In the south of ancient India, the Pandian Empire was really powerful, rich, and culturally awesome. This empire, which thrived in the region now known as Tamil Nadu, was one of the longest ruling dynasties in Indian history. The Pandyas were known for their incredible wealth, which they amassed through extensive trade with foreign lands, including Rome, Greece, and China. Their influence extended far beyond their borders, making them a significant force in the ancient world. Ruling over a huge area, the Pandyas made a big name for themselves in history. Their territory included vast stretches of land, from the fertile plains to the coastal regions, which were dotted with bustling ports. These ports were gateways to the world, facilitating trade and cultural exchange. The Pandyas were not just rulers but also patrons of art, literature, and architecture, leaving behind a legacy that continues to inspire. What they did is still remembered today in South Indian culture, and people who love history are still fascinated by them. The Pandyas were instrumental in promoting Tamil culture, language, and traditions. They built magnificent temples which served as centers of learning and culture. These temples, adorned with intricate carvings and sculptures, stand as a testament to their artistic achievements. This video explores the cool story of the Pandian kings. We'll delve into their origins, tracing their lineage back to mythical times. The Pandyas claimed descent from the moon, and their emblem, the fish, symbolized their connection to the sea. This connection was not just symbolic, it was practical, as they were skilled sailors and traders. We'll look at where they came from, how they became powerful, what they did for art, buildings, and writing, and how they changed India. The Pandyas were known for their administrative skills and military prowess. They established a well-organized system of governance with a focus on justice and welfare. Their contributions to literature, particularly Tamil poetry and prose, are invaluable. The Pandyas were great sailors and really smart leaders. Their maritime expertise allowed them to establish trade routes that connected them with distant lands. They imported luxury goods and exported spices, pearls, and textiles, which were highly sought after in international markets. Their strategic alliances and diplomatic relations further strengthened their position. They ruled a rich empire in what is now Tamil Nadu. The region's natural resources, fertile lands, and strategic location contributed to their prosperity. The Pandyas invested in infrastructure, building roads, irrigation systems, and fortifications. Their capital, Madurai, became a hub of culture and commerce, attracting scholars, artists, and traders from far and wide. Their story is full of big plans, growth, and a strong dedication to their culture. The Pandyas were visionaries who understood the importance of cultural identity and heritage. They supported the arts, encouraged literary works, and celebrated festivals with great pomp and splendor. Their reign saw the flourishing of Tamil literature, music, and dance. From their legendary beginnings to their eventual downfall, the Pandyas changed India forever, leaving behind a story that still amazes us. Their legacy is preserved in the temples, inscriptions, and literary works that continue to be studied and admired. The Pandian Empire's story is a fascinating chapter in the history of India, one that showcases the richness and diversity of its cultural heritage. The beginnings of the Pandian dynasty are lost in time, a mix of history and exciting legends. This ancient dynasty, which ruled parts of South India, has left behind a legacy that is both fascinating and mysterious. The Pandyas were known for their patronage of Tamil literature, art, and architecture, and their influence can still be seen today. Old Tamil writings give us clues about the early Pandyas and how they became important. These manuscripts, often written on delicate palm leaves, have survived the test of time to tell us stories of a bygone era. They reveal the Pandyas' contributions to Tamil culture and their role in shaping the region's history. These texts, like the Sangam poems, often talk about the Pandyas' connection to the famous city of Madurai, their main capital. Sangam literature, a collection of ancient Tamil poetry, provides a window into the lives and times of the Pandyas. It describes their valor, their patronage of the arts, and their deep connection to the city of Madurai. Legend says that Madurai, with its beautiful Meenakshi temple, was built by Lord Indra himself, making the Pandyas seem even more special. The temple, dedicated to goddess Meenakshi, is a marvel of Dravidian architecture, and stands as a testament to the Pandyas' devotion and artistic vision. One popular story tells how Lord Shiva changed a Kadamba forest into the city of Madurai, making it rich and the center of the Pandian kingdom. This transformation is said to have brought prosperity and spiritual significance to the region, further enhancing the Pandya's reputation as divine rulers. These stories, passed down for years, show how important spirituality was to the Pandyas and their rule. The Pandyas were not just warriors and patrons of the arts, they were also deeply spiritual leaders who conducted grand ceremonies and rituals to honor the gods and seek their blessings. While history books tell us about what they really did, these cool myths and legends make the Pandyas even more interesting. The blend of historical facts and mythical tales creates a rich tapestry that captures the imagination and keeps the legacy of the Pandyas alive in the hearts and minds of people even today. Starting in the fertile plains of the south, the Pandyas slowly became super powerful in ancient India. Their location, with important ports along the Coromandel coast, gave them a big advantage for trading by sea. The Pandyas used this to become a strong navy and traded with faraway places like Rome, Greece, and Southeast Asia. They were also great fighters. The Pandian kings were brave and smart, and they led their armies to many wins, making their empire bigger and stronger. They fought big battles with nearby kingdoms like the Cholas and Cheras to control important land and resources. The Pandyas often used elephants and their strong navy in their battles, and this really changed South Indian history. The Pandian Empire wasn't just strong because of its army, it also had a great economy and supported the arts. Because of their location, they were a center of world trade. They sold things like spices, pearls, cloth, and ivory to other countries. All the money from trade helped cities and towns grow, making the Pandian kingdom a rich place for business and culture. The Pandian rulers really loved art, buildings, and writing. They built amazing temples with detailed carvings and tall towers called gopurams. These temples, for different gods and goddesses, were places for worship, pilgrimage, and cultural events. The Pandyas also supported writers, and the Sangam period saw lots of Tamil poetry and stories, many praising the Pandian kings. Section 5. Cultural Lights, Writing, Religion, and People. The Pandian times were full of culture that changed South India forever. The Sangam period, named after meetings of Tamil poets in Madurai, saw a lot of great Tamil writing. These poems and stories are beautiful and emotional, and they tell us about the social, cultural, and political life back then. The Pandian kings were tolerant and supported different religions like Hinduism, Jainism, and Buddhism. Temples for different gods were everywhere, showing the many religions of the people. The Pandyas' openness created religious harmony, letting different faiths live together peacefully. Section 6. The Pandian Kings. Famous rulers through time. The Pandian dynasty, one of the longest ruling dynasties in the history of southern India, has a rich and illustrious past that spans several centuries. Their legacy is marked by remarkable achievements in governance, military conquests, and cultural advancements. The Pandian dynasty had many famous rulers. These rulers were not only known for their administrative acumen but also for their patronage of arts and literature, which significantly contributed to the cultural richness of the region. One of the most important was Nedunjalian I, a powerful king known for his military skill and his victory over the Cholas, Cheras, and 5 other kingdoms in the Battle of Talayane. His strategic prowess and leadership in battle not only expanded the Pandian territories, but also established their dominance in the region. He made the Pandyas very powerful and respected. Under his rule, the Pandian kingdom saw a period of stability and growth, with advancements in infrastructure and trade. Another important ruler was Kadungan, who brought the Pandian dynasty back to life and helped it grow. After a period of decline, Kadungan revitalized the dynasty, restoring its former glory and expanding its influence. He conquered new lands and made the government better, making the Pandyas enter a golden age. His reign marked a significant era of prosperity, with improvements in administration and the flourishing of trade and agriculture. During the rule of Maravarman Rajasima I, many amazing buildings were built, including the beautiful shore temple at Mahabalipuram, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. This period saw a surge in architectural innovation and the construction of iconic structures that stand as a testament to the dynasty's grandeur. He supported the arts and Tamil literature, making him a great Pandian king. His patronage led to a cultural renaissance with significant contributions to Tamil literature and the arts, enriching the cultural heritage of the region for generations to come. Section 7. Stone Reminders. Amazing buildings that still stand. The buildings the Pandyas made show how grand their empire was and how they changed South Indian architecture. The Meenakshi Amman Temple in Madurai, a huge complex with tall towers, bright colors and detailed carvings, is a masterpiece of Dravidian architecture and a symbol of how great Pandian art was. Another amazing building is the Shore Temple at Mahabalipuram, on the Coromandel coast. It looks like it rises out of the waves. This granite temple for Lord Shiva shows how good the Pandyas were at sailing and how they could build creatively with nature. These amazing buildings, and many other temples and monuments in Tamil Nadu remind us of the Pandyas' artistic vision. Section 8. Legacy of the Pandyas, a lasting mark. Even though the Pandian dynasty eventually ended, they left a lasting mark on South Indian identity and culture. What they did for art, buildings, writing and trade changed the region forever. The amazing temples they built still amaze us and are important pilgrimage sites. Their support of Tamil literature helped keep the Tamil language and its stories alive. The Sangam literature, full of poems and stories, tells us about the Pandyas and their time, giving us a look at life in ancient South India. The Pandyas did more than just art and culture. Their good government, strong navy and smart alliances changed ancient Indian politics, impacting the region's history. Section 9. Conclusion. The never-fading glory of the Pandyas. The Pandian Empire, a shining example of power, wealth and culture, made a big impact on Indian history. From their legendary beginnings to their end, the Pandya story is one of big dreams, growth and a strong love for their culture. What they did for art, buildings, writing and trade still amazes us, showing their lasting legacy. The Pandyas' story isn't just in history books, it's part of South Indian culture. Their temples, their literature, and their impact on the region remind us of their greatness. The amazing story of the Pandyas still fascinates people who love history, making sure their legacy lives on.